Valentine's Day is a hit or miss for me from one year to the next, whether I'm with somebody or not, because for some people, overpromising and under-delivering is a lifestyle. But what will never miss is my fragrance, because regardless of what I'm doing or not doing that year, I'ma smell fantastic, sexy, sensual, flirty. Whatever I'm looking for, I will have options. And I want to share some of my Vday faves with you today. Different vibes for different occasions, for different types of women. I have options in this video, so stick around if that's your sort of thing. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Jeanique, and I am marrying my love of fragrances with my love of a good love story together for you today. And I have 5 of my favorite romantic comedies and fragrances that match each of their vibes. I have 15 fragrances in this video for you today. Yes, 10 wasn't enough. I needed to give y'all all the options, and we are going to get into that today. So if you love a perfumey conversation, you love a good love story, you love to smell sexy, sensual, flirty, whatever, stick around and let's get into it. But also subscribe, because I'm adorable, and this video took me a long time to put together, y'all. I had to find clips of movies and shit. Look at me editing. Now let's get into it.
You know how much I love watching you work. But I've got my country's 500th anniversary to plan, my wedding to arrange, my wife to murder, and Gilda to frame for it. I'm swamped.
I too, for all I care.
Oh. As you wish.
Oh, my sweet Wesley. What have I done? Ow. Oh.
The Princess Bride is all about magic and fairy tale and faraway lands where princesses and princes find one another and make magic for all eternity. What is not to love about that kind of love story? It's one of the very first ones I saw, and it still remains one of my favorites till today. I still keep laughing every time I watch it and thinking about that movie and the kind of fragrances that give that kind of fairy tale-esque vibe. We had to start in one place and one place only, y'all. It's Princess. Yeah, obviously. So let's talk about Vday Princess. Now this is a really beautiful, soft floral fragrance that has a fresh sweetness about it. There's something about it that reads a little youthful and bright, happy, full of all kinds of optimism. And I don't know, maybe I think that because I remember my sister wearing this when I was in my later teenage years and sneaking into her room and spraying myself down. And look at me now with my own bottle. Look at me. I love it. I love this fragrance for a few reasons, right? Even though it has white florals like tuberose, it's giving the lightest possible version of those fragrances. It's mostly water lily, sort of watery, light sort of floral fragrance, and the fruit in here, things like apple and apricot, aren't giving much tartness about them. It's just kind of this fresh sweetness that feels kind of sunny and uplifting, really beautiful, really pretty. Now we have some darkening elements in this, things like amber, very light amber, nothing too sticky, nothing too dark. So a little bit of weight on the fragrance, not making it feel so summery. Like it could really work for a cooler spring day. And it has a little bit of dark chocolate, bringing us back to that Valentine's Day theme. Look at me go. But this is a beautiful fragrance, whether you're gifting this to a 16-year-old or you're wearing it down at 30. It doesn't matter. It really works regardless, because it is this sort of pretty soft floral fragrance with nothing too aggressive in any of the notes. It just lays on the skin really delicately, and it feels really delicate. So we're starting off with a good one, y'all. Vday Princess, a longtime fave of mine. And I still love her. So all of the Princess Bride inspired fragrances are going to be soft, romantic florals. So fragrances that read ultra feminine in the most delicate way possible. We're going to get on to 2 of the most romantic of all the florals there ever was, and that is peony and rose. all wrapped up in Chloe EDP. Now, this is a more classic take on grown femininity, in my opinion, with that really moderate rose sitting in the middle of this fragrance. This fragrance doesn't have a ton of fruit or vanilla or anything like that. It's really a bouquet of flowers. It's rose softened around the edges by a very romantic peony. Now, I've said to y'all before, the way peony reads to me on skin is as if you've created like a filter over everything, a romantic filter where everything's just slightly hazy, nothing really has sharp edges anymore. And sure enough, in this fragrance, we very much get that. This really beautiful full rose. You gotta love a rose smell, right? But you get all of that in here with a little bit of lychee to add some dimension, a little bit of depth, some sweetness, and then you filter everything through peony, making it feel really soft and romantic and pretty. Now, I've never met a man who does not love Chloe EDP. It's always shocking because women are sometimes on the fence about this fragrance because not everybody loves rose like that. But every guy I know is like, ooh, ooh. What is that about? Y'all let me know down in the comment section. What is up with the men's love of Chloe? Seriously. If we want to get a little bit more intense with our soft romantic florals, the next place to go, because it has a little bit more attitude, is over there by the purple florals. Fragrances like La Vie Belle Iris Absolute from Lancome, a beautiful iris fragrance that mixes fig and gourmand accords all together to create this really jammy but airy kind of fragrance that feels really sweet, opulent, beautiful, and very, very much like a fantasy. This feels like it belongs on a princess in a fairy tale. There's something kind of magical about this fragrance because it leans so heavily on that beautiful sweetness, but that iris kind of evens everything out, makes it feel a little bit more real life while also keeping it really full and big and beautiful. Really opulent, lovely, romantic kind of feminine fragrance that I absolutely love, and you should get your nose on this one if you haven't done so already.
I love daisies.
You told me.
They're so friendly. Don't you think that daisies are the friendliest flower?
I do.
When did you break up?
A couple of weeks ago.
Everyone is breaking up. You, me, this other person I know broke up with someone in an elevator.
Fragrances inspired by You Got Mail are bright, happy, pretty, and most importantly, the friendliest kind of fragrances out there. And I have 3 here that I'm really excited to share with you. So we of course have to start off with a daisy fragrance because daisy is the friendliest flower out there, obviously. And we have Daisy Love. See what I did there? Daisy Love from Marc Jacobs. But this really does fit the theme in a very big way, in the kind of simplicity, cleanness, really approachability of this fragrance, but it's still very pretty and easy to fall in love with, to be honest. Like, I love this fragrance. The first time I tried it, I am so on board. It's my favorite daisy fragrance from Marc Jacobs. I enjoy this one. So what is it? It's basically daisy, obviously, and cloudberry, which sort of gives a citrusy vibe, just milder and slightly fresher and sweeter at the same time. Like, it doesn't have the tartness and sharpness as a lot of citrus fragrances or citrus noted fragrances. In the base, you have some cashmere musk, so a kind of musk that isn't as crisp, but it's a little bit fluffier and a little bit of driftwood, which gives a little bit of saltiness to the fragrance. So basically what we have here is mild on mild on mild on fluffy. Basically, that is what we have here. And so this fragrance sort of melts into your skin and gives you sort of girl next door kind of vibe. Daisy Love is the girl next door, sweet, approachable, a little bit fresh, clean smelling, very friendly. And I would say a Fragonard Murmure is the one that goes on hikes, right? This feels a little bit more outdoorsy, a little bit woodier, a little bit greener in what it is giving, but it's still very fluffy, bright, light, airy smelling, really beautiful fragrance. I love this one for a few reasons. Now, I love a green scent, but this doesn't lean too far into that green territory. The structure of this fragrance, the outside, makes it feel very cloud-like you're going to fall into something very, very soft. And what's inside of it is Angelica, that has like a greener tinge to a floral kind of smell with some lily of the valley, which can be a little bit greener as far as white florals go. It smells fresher, it smells cleaner in what it is giving lily of the valley. It also has things like basil in a more savory direction. So we don't have those sharp green notes in here. They're all very soft. They're all very delicate. They're all very light. But this smells like a beautiful spring day. You're outside, you're smelling the leaves, you're smelling the flowers. Everything is coming together in a way that just feels really understated and beautiful. And this right here is a vibe. Now let's get into the friendliest of all the fragrances, and it has to be, boom, Kenzie's Buttercup Babe. Y'all, this is a lovely, beautiful fragrance coming to you from a clearance section near you, because this day being on station, I'll be buying this full price at all. It's a lovely one. So we're going to stick with daisies, right? Because daisy is the friendliest flower, and there's daisies in this, and it is a beautiful, more gourmand take on what we've been talking about, that sort of clean, light, airy, friendly kind of fragrance. But this one is a lot sweeter as we bring in some more gourmand notes. Now, on the face of this is a daisy fragrance, right? With some water notes like dewdrops and water. So this is not so much airy like Daisy Love is. It is more watery in what it's giving, right? And on top of all of that is a buttercup, right? The dessert, bringing that in here makes it feels like you're outdoors in a field and someone's baking, and you're getting some of those scents coming in, hitting you on the outside. Hold up, wait, have you subscribed yet? Why are you being mean for subscribing? It's so free, it's so easy, I'm so adorable. What is happening right now?
Where would you like it?
Where would we like it?
Over by the bar.
Excuse me.
It'll be on your bill, Mr. Lewis.
Thank you.
What are you looking at?
Just between us, this is my favorite movie on this list. The only romantic comedy that beats this movie for me personally is Dirty Dancing. But I could not think of any fragrances inspired by Dirty Dancing other than watermelon ones. So if you can think of Dirty Dancing inspired fragrances, put them in the comment section. I would love to know, because I could not think of any. Instead, we're going to focus a little bit on Pretty Woman. I couldn't figure out what scene I wanted to go with. The one with the roses on the fire escape, or this one, the strawberries and champagne scene, which is one of my favorites because the wig and the outfit and the boot, it's all vibes. So let's get into the fragrances inspired by Pretty Woman and all the fun, excitement, joy, and a little bit of intrigue this movie offers us. Also shopping on Rodeo Drive, it gave us also that. Love this one. So we're talking champagne and strawberry, fun party fragrances that give everything they need to. I'm going to start off with Lattafa's Haya. I recently hauled this fragrance in my Lattafa Arabian perfume haul video, which I will link for you. And so I just recently talked about this. I won't go into too much detail, but this is literally strawberries and champagne with a little bit of marshmallow, some chestnuts for nuttiness, and some caramel to boot. This is a fragrance that starts off really fizzy and bright, sweet, happy. We get some marshmallowiness coming through, some powdered sugar coming through, making this feel really fun and youthful, really flirty, really outgoing. You want to go out and have a good time with this fragrance, but it has a bit of staying power because of that caramel and that chestnut, that little bit of nuttiness that makes this feel just a tad bit more interesting. Really fun, really happy fragrance that is all for a night out of dancing, a night at a carnival. That is the vibe of this fragrance, and it is perfect for Valentine's. Perfect. So that last one was more flirty than anything else, but La Nuit Tresor, which I think was featured in my last year's Valentine's Day recommendations. I will link that as well. That's a year old, y'all, because my channel is basically a year old now. This fragrance is back at it, being one of the most romantic, sort of sexy, alluring fragrances that you can get your hands on. So if that one was flirty, this is downright sexy, and this is also strawberry. But it's not just strawberry. It's a little bit of coffee. There's some licorice in here. So a little bit of smokiness from incense in this one. It's a beautiful mix of florals with sweet and tart fruit, some darkening notes like those coffee accords, and a little bit of musk to boot, making this feel really opulent and a little bit dark, a little mysterious, really sexy fragrance. You need to try this one. Lancome knew what they were doing when they made La Nuit Tresor, because this fragrance is such a showstopper and it smells great on everybody. It really does. So if Haya is flirty and La Nuit Tresor is sexy, and Ferragamo's Amo is downright seductive. You are looking to seduce Not just flare a little bit. No, you're looking to put in work when you wear this one because the booze gets heavier with this baby. We're doing Campari instead of champagne. And the fruit isn't as dainty, sweet, light, innocent as that strawberry. We got blackcurrant and we got rhubarb. Both a little aggressive, a little in your face. This is a very sexy fragrance. Also super affordable if you can find it on like discount websites. Y'all, it's ammo. Ammo means love. Ammo means love. I love this fragrance. I would wear this down to work because I'm just feeling that kind of vibe today, y'all. Really beautiful mixture of florals and very tart, bold fruitiness and a whole bunch of liquor. Just helping this fragrance to feel just a little bit off kilter, a little bit different. Very, very sexy fragrance. The main floral note in this is jasmine, which I know is not for everybody. Jasmine is a more robust, forward smelling white floral. It can be a little off-putting for some people. I love me a jasmine fragrance. There's some vanilla in here, some sandalwood to make this feel like it has a little bit of body. And even though I'm out here wearing this one to work, it's not a work fragrance. This is one that is meant to seduce all the people. Very sexy, very seductive fragrance. Also very affordable. Beautiful bottle. Beautiful fragrance. Very, very underrated. It is Ferragamo's Ammo.
There ought to be a law against being young and sexy.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said whatever it is sure smells good.
Oh, I think it's my cologne. It's new.
No, I meant the food.
Right.
I meant the cologne.
So, you're certainly the most colorful thing I've seen this morning.
What, do you have a problem with pink?
Actually, yes, I'm in therapy for it.
Who doesn't love a vacation romance? And who doesn't love a romantic scent for vacation settings? And I have 3 here that give very much a tropical kind of vibe that also reads sexy, delicious, fruity, and very come hither, right? I have 3 here. Starting with the nicest and getting on to the naughtiest, we're going to get into it, all inspired by one of my favorite romantic movies, How Stella Got Her Groove Back. We won't think about how it ended, y'all. We'll ignore that part. We'll just think about Angela Bassett in that movie being fine as hell. That's all we're focused on right now. We're going to start off with Ellie Saab, Girl of No Shine. Are y'all tired of me talking about this fragrance? Because I will stay talking about it. The texture on this fragrance is downright perfect, right? They have a bitter almond in here, which gives it a bit of creaminess. We also have some iris for a dash, just a very light dash of powderiness, making it feel more cloudy and enveloping than anything else. There is some sweet vanilla, some creamy vanilla in this as well. Most of the work, though, y'all, is being done by Pistachio. Beautiful nuttiness in this one and a very tropical pineapple, juicy, sweet, beautiful. This is a fun fragrance that I just can't get enough of. Am I coming to y'all with even more pineapple? Of course I am, because the more pineapple, the merrier. This is a beautiful one. It's just slightly more aggressive than Girl of No Shine, right? Because even though this has pineapple as well, it has patchouli, it has vanilla, it shares a lot of the same notes. It also departs in a couple significant ways, right? Instead of the iris we have in the other one, in this one we have a very dominant heliotrope to balance out some of those creamier notes, making this one feel significantly more powdery than the last one. We also have things like black pepper in this one that adds a little bit of edge and darkness and sharpness to this fragrance the other one does not have. There's a little bit of a rosiness or a mustiness in this one that feels just a little bit more grown, not quite as youthful. Now, I know there are some people who cannot stand this fragrance. I think it's the patchouli. In the last one, the patchouli is non-fucking existent. It is not there. I do not smell it. I do not get it at all. But in this one, the patchouli comes through, especially in the dry down. So you have to like a kind of a more aggressive take on that pineapple tropical kind of smell. But if you do, you like a fragrance with a little bit more power, a little bit more edge, then this is the kind of fragrance that's going to pull that up. And I think the name is very apt. Si Passion. It is all about passion, it's all about intrigue, it's all about like va-va-voom, heated kind of like lustful passion. That is the vibe of this fragrance with all the hard edges and the soft bits to go with it. Now, the sexiest of all of these has to be, y'all, this is Sexual Fleur You see the name. From Michelle Tremaine, you see the bottle. It is giving Valentine's, isn't it? It's a really beautiful fragrance, a lot of fun. It has some grapefruit, so it has this sort of a bright, open freshness about it when you first start off with this fragrance. It has things like walnut, it has some daisies in here, so a light white floral. It feels like this, oh, that's nice. That black currant, y'all. The black currant in here is really dominant. It is pushing in this fragrance, making it feel a little bit more than flirtatious, a little bit aggressive about it, right? Really up in your face, this one, but there is a balance of very real heavy sweetness coming through from dark fruit like plum, making it feel really deep and rich and heavy. It also has this really nice caramel in the base, a little bit of woodiness to give this a little bit more darkness and heaviness that sort of sets the fragrance apart, so it doesn't feel as juvenile as this pink might make you think that it is. It is not. It's a very grown, sexy kind of fragrance.
Your favorite?
My favorite? Is that right? I'm undone. But not my favorite. Come round sometime, get that squeak out your door.
You knew we had to do fragrances really inspired by chocolate, cream, dessert, gourmand, because this is the holiday for all of that. And I absolutely love the movie Chocolat because of all the self-discovery and just beautiful desserts that they present in that movie. And I want to take you through 3 options, working my way from the most approachable to the one that's maybe going to be a little bit more off the cuff. Let's start off with Alien Goddess Intense from Mugler, right? You want to feel like a goddess? You want to feel like an intense goddess? Here we go. This is a beautiful coconut vanilla fragrance. That's mostly what it is. Just really full, rich, sweet, heavy. It's not a dainty fragrance. It's not a dainty fragrance for a dainty woman. This is bombastic. This is in your face. This pushes. It is very, very sweet. You gotta love a gourmand accord that does not hold back. Yet it has some floral elements in here that makes this feel perfumey, like gourmand perfume and not like food. But that just elevates it, makes it feel more versatile. But it is perfect for winter, perfectly sweet, and so addictive in what it is giving. Y'all, consider this one when you're thinking about a heavier, creamier, vanillic kind of approach to finding a Valentine's Day fragrance, because Goddess Intense does it so well. So let's get a little bit darker with it, a little moodier, and talk about Roberto Cavalli, Nero Assoluto. Now, I've talked about this fragrance before. This is a lovely one. I'm obsessed with it because it takes a really thick, creamy, heavy vanilla and it adds in some deep, dark woods. I think bourbon vanilla and ebony together, giving you something a little bit boozier, darker, richer, and just a little bit more elevated, a little bit more sophisticated, and feeling like nighttime. There's nothing not to love about this. If you love a kind of ambery, sticky, heavy, sweet, boozy vanilla, that's a lot of words, boozy vanilla with a deeper, darker wood to match things out, to give this a little bit more dimension, then this is a beautiful option. It feels like the bottle looks a little bit over the top and a little bit dark, so a little bit more mysterious. Really beautiful fragrance. A much darker, more grown take on vanilla, and I love, love, love this one, especially because the longevity is good because of all of that woodiness. Absolutely obsessed with this guy. Last up in this category is Janoon Noir from Al Haramain. Now, this fragrance for me is a little bit hard to describe because it isn't your typical straightforward vanilla kind of fragrance, but it is, on the foundation of everything else, a vanilla fragrance. But it's a vanilla fragrance that introduces you to a lot of powderiness, making this feel really big and full, and it kind of just creates this really sweet cloud around you. It also has some more tart fruit like kumquat in here, and that comes through even despite all of that sweet, creamy vanilla. The really sort of standout and sort of strange part of this fragrance is all of the greenness that's introduced by way of the lily of the valley and a few other notes in this one. And there is something savory sort of percolating underneath this fragrance that feels like it shouldn't be there. But it makes this fragrance feel really different. It makes you smell like nobody else, giving you something that is a little bit more intriguing and mysterious in the vibes that it is giving. So if you're looking for a vanilla with some savory, maybe greenness in it, that is giving you something a little bit non-traditional, a little bit out there, then I think Jeanique Noir gives exactly that. I think this is the kind of fragrance that you're either obsessed or you're really, really not. This is a very sexy take on vanilla, in my opinion, and I think it's perfect, just perfect for Valentine's Day. I have a bunch of honorable mentions, fragrances that almost made the cut but didn't, fragrances that smell similar to other ones on this list that I didn't end up including. I will put all of my honorable mentions in a comment pinned below so you can take a look if there are some options there you might be interested in trying as well. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you stopping by and spending a little bit of time with me, exploring some of my favorite romantic comedies and the fragrances that I think match their vibe. And again, I'm Jeanique, out here playing perfume matchmaker, and I hope I made a few matches for you this February, and I'll see you in the next one. See you soon. Bye, y'all.
We got time to exist. You don't know what you're doing to me. Let me know how you feel.